and then say I'm done. I want to snap it. So I'm just using the snap tools, right? So I'm going to snap it at the corner of, let's say, the grid, right? So I'm just going to snap it on the grid. I'll just snap it there, okay? So especially with this, no, so we're dealing with units, right? So we can easily manipulate where you can, what they call this, rotate, right? Or scale or move, right? So last time I showed you how to key, right? So just to key your animation. So just using this pivot, right? So we can actually manipulate. So this is the simplest rig, no? So as how I showed you last time, I'm just gonna go to, let's say, animation, right? And this is my time frame here at the bottom, okay? GM3D Bass Pro. Okay, so I'm going to key frame 1 just by pressing on this, okay? I'm just gonna key it. If you'd notice, no, here on my channel box, everything is red now. It means that it's keyed, okay? So it's a key. So let's say I wanna move in 15 frames, right? I want to move it, let's say, up to here, okay? So in 15 frames, I want it to move till there. So what I'll do is I'll key it again, right? And there you go. So I can now scrub, for example. So there you go. So I can now move, okay? So that's the basic of rigging, is basically changing the pivots, right? So the pivot, uh, it you can change a lot. So maybe what I'll do is I want to see. Let's say at, it's kind of hard to time. But anyways, maybe what I'll do is I'll do a simple rotate, right? So let's say I want it rotated, let's say like that. Okay, so let's say I'll change it to 90 degrees, enter. Okay. I'll change it there. They'll key it again. Okay. If you notice, no, if I change this, this will change as well. Okay. So, and then what if, let's say I will move it, instead of going that way, maybe just here. Okay. And then I'll key it again. There you go. So let's see what happens when I scrub. There you go. See that? So I can, so, okay. So I can do a scale as well. So I can scale, let's say at frame 15, right? I want it scaled. So let's say I want to scale it. I want to scale it along this axis, right? Let's say, oops. Okay. I'm just going to scale it this way. There. Okay, let's scale it that way. So as you notice, no, this changed, right? So this changed. So I'm just going to key it again. And I'm just going to scrub it. So from the very beginning, so you can see you're now tweening it. Okay. Next, we've also talked about, say, parenting. What if I make another cube? So I made another cube, right? I'm just going to move this here. So I'll move that there. But I'm going to make this as my parent, right? So what I'll do is I'm just going to press P to parent it. So now it's a parent. So what happens with this? This is now a child of this, right? So a child is always dependent on the parent, right? So imagine all I did was just parent it. right? So, but if I scrub, right, if I scrub the timeline, so it's also following what's happening with the parent, right? So it starts from there. So if you would notice, when we create, what do you call this? Joints as well, it's the same principle, basically. So look, if I make this, all right, so this is this joint, okay? So let's see what joint that is. It's basically, oops, let's undo that. There you go. Let's end it. So I'm gonna press enter so that it's, oops, there you go. So it's finished, right? So let me select it. There you go. And as you can see, this is selected, which is joint 4. So this is a child of joint 3, right? It's a child of, which is a child of joint 2, child of joint that. Okay? So, which means, okay, so this, if I want to move this, right, it's really independent. Okay? It's just a child, right? But if I move this, look, so if I move this, let's say I'll rotate it. So the child is dependent on the parent, right? So same with this. So this would now follow this. See that? So it's following the same principle, right? So if you rotate, so this can also be keyed, right? So let's see. Well, what if I key, for example, so let's select that. I can, at frame 1, I can key it. Let's go back to animation, right? I can key it, right? Same thing. So let's say at frame 15, right? I want it, let's say it should rotate this way. Okay, so I'm just going to key it again. So there you go. So if you would notice, look at the look at the joints. So it's just following. It's the same principle as how we're actually doing it this way. Okay, but it's also dependent on all of this. Okay, so the scale is dependent, the rotation is dependent, the translation is dependent. Okay, so I guess let's skip all of this then. So I'm just going to select all of this. Okay, select all of that. View that and this. Okay, I'm going to make another layer. So create a layer from selected, and I'm just going to hide it. This one. Okay. All right. So today, what we'll be doing is we will be putting a skeleton on our crow. Okay. So still remember our crow?
Yeah.
All right. So what we want to do is we want to put the skeleton on this. All right. Let's go. The best crow. Okay. Feel free to ask questions, no, if you have any questions. So anyway, so what we'll do is we'll go to orthographic view first, right? So let's go to orthographic view. So let's go here, side view. So let's start out, whenever you start with a joint, right? So I'm just gonna create a joint. Make sure you're at the rigging, and then I'm gonna take this out, and I'm also gonna go rigging. I'm just going to create some joints. Okay. So make sure you turn on this. Okay. X-ray joints. Okay. So you turn on X-ray joints so that you can see the joints that you're putting. Okay. So what I'm going to do, usually you start with the root. Okay. So with the root, it means it's where you usually select a skeleton or a rig where you can move it inside the environment. Okay, so whenever you select it, this is going to be the main, the root is going to be the main joint that you would need to select, okay, a whole object. So anyway, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to create like some sort of a spine, right? Then this is going to be, let's say, the head. Okay, so there you go. As you notice, no, there. So that's my joints. So similarly, I press enter to finish, right? So I'm finished. So as you will notice, no, I've already created the joint, but you can change, you can still manipulate this now. So I can change this. I can change, I can change, easily change where it should be. Okay. So if you notice now, so this also changes. Okay. So okay, same with this. I can change that if I want to. I can easily move it like so, so that I can align the joint. No. However, before anything, I forgot. No. Before anything, do make sure that your figure. Okay, let's go back. Okay. Do make sure that your figure is clean. Okay. Let's go check. Okay. Looks like it's clean. What you usually do to make sure that your model is clean, no? So you freeze your transforms and delete your history. Okay, so make sure you select your object, right? And then clean it by freezing your transforms. Okay, freeze your transforms. Modify, freeze transformations. Okay, and then make sure also that you delete your history. Okay, because it usually if you don't do that, no, and then you made some you made some changes, right, with your model, for example, and then you rig it after, it will cause a huge impact. Okay, and you don't want that the results. Okay, usually you don't want the results. So anyway, so that being said, no, so make sure, right, you delete history by type. Okay,
Sir,
or yes, go ahead.
question. Is the model the minute we download it, is it already clean?
Uh, this one, I think so, but
Okay.
just to be sure,
Because I already
you
rigged the
did.
crow. So,
You played around
yeah,
with it already.
while waiting for it,
Okay.
sir. So I was like, and then you just mentioned now that
Oops.
we, and I was like, oh wait, it's the
Oh,
crow
wait.
that sir sent. So okay.
Right. Okay. So there. I'm just saying that you should make sure. Okay. Make sure that it's clean. Okay.
Sir, if ever it isn't, is it non-destructive to freeze transformations and clean it now post
As long as
rigging?
it's not yet binded. So it's
Ah, okay. All right. All
we
right.
haven't binded it yet naman. So
Okay.
it's fine.
All right.
So
Thank you,
anyway,
sir.
all right. So moving forward, no. So let's go back. All right. So let's go check our joints again. So really simple joint, right? So this is going to be our skeleton, right? Um, Normally, okay, what we want to do, especially when you're in production, you should have naming conventions already. Okay, so I'm just gonna hide this, right? Okay. Um, is it selected? Okay. So I just hit the joints that I made, right? So I'll go back to what I did previously. Okay, so I did previously. So I have this. So let's select my root. Okay, where is my root? There you go. So I previously did this, right? If you would check it, no. So look at my outliner, right? So what I did was I renamed, okay, each part already. Okay, so make sure you rename it. right? So like the root, for example, I just called it the root, okay? But along it, it's the spine. So I just named it spine 1, 2, 3, till 4, or till 5, okay? So till this one, okay? So that one, okay? So I just renamed it, even with the wings, for example. So here, what I did, my naming convention is it should be at, since this is the left physical wing, okay, left physical wing, right? So I renamed it L, okay, L underscore wing, okay? So that's the naming convention. Same with the leg, okay? Did notice, right? So the leg, okay, has the naming convention, and so with as my toes, okay? So anyway, I'm just gonna hide that, right? So let's go. Oops, not that, like that. Okay. I'm going to go back to my example, right? So I'm just gonna unhide it. There you go. So this is what I'm working on. Okay. Next that I wanted to make is, I'm just looking at the, sir, physics like here, physics, do you have to rig each single hair? Of course. Yes. Um, Usually you have clumps already. So you have clumps of hair. But then again, no, once you're in game development, like here, for example, in rendered animation is totally different from real-time animation. Okay, if we're using engines, right? So it's totally different. Okay, but yes, you do rig it. Okay, and then for creatures, do they have their own T-pose? Yes. So they can have, like here, this is at its T-pose already. So you have a T-pose, you have the A pose, you have your normal, just normal pose. Okay. So, so there. Okay. Sige. Let's go arrange our joints. Okay. So next thing that we want to do, let's go back to our side view. Okay, so from our side view. Okay, so I'm gonna add more joints. Oh no, forgive me. I do not have, I'm still using my trackpad. I don't have a mouse with me. So I'm just gonna add, I could not pan. So I'm gonna add some joints for this. Okay, it's fine. Okay, so that's gonna be the legs, right? And then let's say I want to add the toes. Okay, so I want to add the toes. Okay, so keep it simple lang. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna make some toes. No, so I'm just gonna create some joints again. So just 1, 2, that's it. Okay, and then enter to finish it. Okay, undo. Finished already. Okay. Oh, I forgot to move. Let's display. I don't want the wireframe. Yeah, so we can see. Okay, so what I wanted to do is I want to move the leg. Okay, let's turn on X-ray, right? So I'm gonna move the leg. I'm gonna move it somewhere here. Let's go with the front view so that we could see it better. And then I'm just gonna move this, that joint. Wireframe na nga natin. So we can see it better. And then this joint, move it like so. And finally, this joint, move it like so. Okay, so once I'm done, right? Make sure yung ano you rename after, no? So let's go back. See if we did it right. Okay. So I think this is fine. Okay, that's fine. This one, I think I need to move it just a bit. So I'm just gonna move it up. So focus on it. Move it up so that it hits. There you go. Okay, and then what
Joint 13 is, sir, sorry. Joint
It's a
13 is actually for the toes.
toes. Yes, I haven't renamed it, so I did rename it with my example here, a skeleton under this layer. But I'm just showing you how it's done. Okay, but make sure that you rename it. Okay, make sure you rename it, and you have to put if it's a left or right. Otherwise, it's gonna ruin your animation because you don't know which is left or which is right. And you tend to get confused with it. Okay, so all right, so let's say I'm done with that. Right, let's go back here. Right, and I'm going to go wireframe so that I can see it better. So I'm gonna do just duplicate it. I'm gonna duplicate that, just move, duplicate that, move, okay, duplicate, okay. And I'm just gonna move that again, and then I'm just gonna rotate it. Okay, let's say 180 degrees. Okay. And then I'm just gonna move it back again to align it to the toe. There you go. Same with this. So, okay, so I want to align it. I want to align it, so I'm just going to rotate it like that. Okay. There you go. Same. Actually, I don't want it. I don't want to rotate it. Let's do that. Okay, so what I'm going to do is because what do you call this? Usually, hindi, okay lang rin naman. May gimbal lock kasi. So usually we can orient the joints anyway, right? So I'll show you later. So what I'll do is, okay, I'm fine with that. I'm just gonna move it like so. Then this one, perhaps I'll just move like that. Okay. But if you notice, right, the orientation, Z is still going this way, X is still going this way. Okay, next. So same with this. So I'm gonna select this, move it. I want to select this. Wait. There you go. Move it. Okay. So let's say I'm finished with that. Like, what? Let's see. Is that finished? Okay. I think that's fine. Let's go here. Is X-ray on? Yes. Okay, that's fine. Okay. If you think that you're having trouble seeing it, right? You're having trouble seeing it. So what you do, go to display, animation, joint size. Okay, so what are we doing? We're gonna make it smaller so that we could see it. There you go. Okay. All right. So we're done. Okay. Next that we want to do is I want to make a tail. Okay, so I'm just gonna make a tail. I will just make a simple tail. Just make a joint from here to there, and that's it. So instead of 0, make it. Let's make it snap. Snap, snap. There you go. Snap. This one. Snap. Okay. And then I want it side view. Side view. So I'm just gonna move this, move it. That's gonna be, that is where the tail should be, something like that. Then this, move it like so. Okay, so I'm done. Okay, I'm done with my tail, right? Next is I want the wings. Okay. Wings. Okay. Let's go with the wings here. Okay. So I'm going to create some joints again. So what normally, if you're creating joints, right? So you just follow, okay, follow the geometry. And normally you want to put joints where you have your, what do you call this, intersections, okay? Basically, you have geometry at your joints. There you go. Okay, so that's my wing. Let's see. Okay. It's not following exactly the contour, so maybe what I'll do is I'll take just a bit. Careful lang with the gimbal lock. Sobra. Okay, so let's say I'm done. Okay, what's next, right? So if you notice, right, so look at my skeleton. So they're not yet connected, right? So they're not connected. So what I'll do is I will parent. So same as what we were doing before, you usually just parent, okay? So look. So this is not connected, right? So what I'll do, I'll select that joint and then select all of these, okay? And I'm going to parent. I'm going to shift select, shift select. I want to parent it. Parent it there. Okay, so I'm going to parent it to there, right? Okay, understand that? So I'm just going to press P, okay, to parent. So P, parent. And if you notice, look, so it automatically made those joints. Okay. Bones pala. So those are bones, right? So now you have your bones. Okay. Got it? Okay. Same with this. Okay. So we joint the leg, right? I want it to be parented to this. Okay. So I'm going to press P to parent. There you go. It's now connected. See that? So the tail also goes to the root. Okay. I need the root. Root, please. I can actually just select this. Yes. There. Okay, so I'm going to parent the root. So parent, there you go. So now it's connected. Okay. So same with the wing. Okay. So I've selected the wing. Parent it with the root. Right. Not exactly the root. I want it, it's a chest. Okay. So joint 6. Tama ba yan? Sige, that will be fine. Okay. So it's going to connect it here. So I'm going to parent it. There you go. So if you would notice, you have you. Okay. Question so far? Do you understand what I'm doing? No. So if I select the root, there you go. Okay, so that's your skeleton. Okay. Understood? Understood? Okay. So, so how do we do that? So if you notice, no, it's like half right now. Okay, so I have half of it. So I'm just gonna hide this again. Okay. And I'm just gonna show you what I did earlier with the skeleton. So I have this, right? So what I'll do is I'll deselect this first. Okay, wait, that wing, where is it? So it's under here. So it's the right wing. Okay. So what I'll do is, what if I just delete it? Okay, so I'm gonna delete it. It's gone. Okay. So now I have half again. Okay. So what I'll do is I will mirror the joints. Okay. So I'm just gonna mirror the joints. So let's see what happens if I mirror the wing first. Okay. So I'm gonna mirror the wing. Okay. So I'm gonna mirror the wing. So what I'll do is under skeleton, okay, under skeleton, okay, I'm just going to mirror joints. I'm gonna click this, okay, and I want to make sure which plane I am looking at, okay, so which plane, so it's at YZ. Why YZ? Because, right, so if I say I'll create a plane, right, let's make a plane, let's make it larger, right. Anyway, so kind of let's make the plane. Where are you, Mr. Plane? Let's create the plane. There you go. Then I'm just gonna scale it. There, right? So what do I mean by this, right? So this one is basically plane Z and X, right? So this one, this plane is Z and X, right? How about X, Y? Okay, so that means Y is going this way, X is going this way. So that means this should be transform. I'm missing. Okay, so I'm gonna make this 90 degrees. So there. Okay. And I'm just gonna move that. So this is Y. So this one and X. As you can see, it's this one. Okay. So what do I need? I need this one, which is Y and Z. So I'm gonna mirror it along that plane. Okay, so that means I need to rotate this, for example. Right. Rotate, please. So I'm gonna rotate it 90 degrees. Okay, so it's at this plane. Okay, so that means I need YZ. Okay, so let's delete my plane. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna select my wing again. There you go, my wing, right? And I'm going to mirror it along YZ. Okay, now look at this. So because I did all the naming conventions here already, okay, now because I wanted to change it to the right appendage, okay, or limb, right? So I'm going to change it to the right limb. All I need to do is, for the naming convention, I'm just going to change it. So let's say it's L, right? I'm going to change it to R. It can be a word, no? For example, left, right? And then you can change it to right, okay? So in this case, I'm just using L and R, okay? So right now, let's see what happens if I mirror this. So if I'm gonna mirror this, loop, and look, it's under behavior. So I'm gonna mirror it, loop, There you go. So now I have a mirror. Okay. So, and it's actually connected now. So there. Okay. So let's see what happens if I select both. So what if I move this? So that's the behavior. So I change that. So that's fine. All right. What if, okay. So that's, I wonder if it's different nowadays. Okay, let me change this. I'll go look at your chats. I haven't been looking at your chats yet. Okay. Do crows have hips? Of course. Okay. Oh, let's go look at anatomy. Let's go look at anatomy. Crow skeleton. Okay. Or anatomy. There you go. So you see that? That is the hip. Okay. So if we look at this, it's that. Okay. Okay. Got it? Sige.
Yes.
Okay. So other questions. Yay, anatomy. Yes. Yes, we need to understand anatomy. But our crow is not anatomically correct. If you look at our wings, it's weird. It's like an octopus. But anyway, it's okay. As of right now, I'm just showing you how the joints are just made. Okay. Do you also put joints with the beak? Yes, you can. But this is a single and it doesn't have a. You can if you want to, but this doesn't need it. Okay. The beak doesn't have no, it doesn't open or closes. It's a really simple beak. Okay. So anyway, so I can do the same thing with this. Okay, so with the leg, I can actually select it in my outliner. There you go. I can select it here, right? So I can do the same thing, right? So as you notice, no, so when I made this, look at this. So it made the right wing. See that? So every single thing, the naming convention follows when I mirrored it. So this is your left, this is your right. Okay, so I'll do the same thing here. Okay, so with the leg, I've just selected it. And then I am going to mirror it. So under skeleton, mirror joints. There you go. And I'm just going to follow this because it's also YZ, right? And then all of the L, I'm going to change it to right. Okay. So I'm just going to mirror. Bloop, there you go. It's mirrored. Okay. And it's also connected now. Okay. Got it.
Yes, sir.
All right. I think that will be it. I'll discuss the orientations next time. Okay. So I have another meeting. I'm sorry, but I think
Sir, are we going to
covered-
get
Yes,
are we
go ahead.
going to get assignments from you?
Assignment here? Practice. Yes, you do have an assignment. I want you to rig a cat.
A cat.
Yes, you're gonna be practice on this. So let's go check where is our big sky. Big sky. It's here. There you go. So where did I put it? Where did I put it? It's supposed to be here. There you go. It's here. Okay. So what you do, practice on this. Okay. Download the Crow, right? So this is clean, right? But just make sure that it is, right? So just go check on it, right? And then make the skeleton that I made. Okay. With the cat, I already have something that's prepared. Okay. So just go here under rigging the cat. Okay. You have this. Okay. So you have this one, and this is the texture. Okay. So try to follow the anatomy lang, just change it. I mean, make this one, Maya. Make this. Okay. Make this. All right. Is that clear? You guys?
Yes, sir. But
Yes,
how
sir.
are we going to send that?
I'll just practice. I screenshots. Send me screenshots. Okay. As for the cat, you do have a repository for that. Well, same with the crow, actually. So under Dropbox, right? You can actually see it under Dropbox. You have repositories. So those, whatever that we're actually doing is just whips. Okay. So send it as a whip or work in progress. Is that clear?
The screenshot, sir?
Yes, the screenshots and the file itself. You can just send the file. Okay.
As in the object FBX?
No. All right. FBX will do. But yes, no problem. Okay. Is that clear? Okay, I'm gonna stop sharing.
Yes.
All right. Thanks, you guys. I'm gonna stop recording.
Recording stopped.
Okay. Sige. You can consult, of course. You can consult. You should consult. Okay. If you don't have any questions, you're gonna talk about the cat next week. Yes, sure. We can talk about the cat next. Yes. PM me the screenshots.
What about the owl? What about the owl?
The owl, you'll do it next time.
Sir, as of now, there are no due dates po sa
No, I haven't.
Dropbox.
Yet.
Okay.
Put in the notes.
All right, sir.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yes, the recording. I have. Once I end this this Zoom, it's gonna compile and then I'll upload it. Okay. Thanks, you guys. I'll see you next week.
Thank you,
Thank
sir.
you,
Ingat
sir.
po.
Okay, bye-bye.
Thank you, sir.